Imagine there was a country where there's going to be an election, and one of the candidates in that election, who's probably going to win that election, scares the other side so bad that they turn over every rock, turn over every stone, looking for any dirt at all on this candidate. They're unable to find any crimes. So they charge this candidate with a crime that nobody else in the country's history has ever been charged with. They try to link together fictitious fairy tale crimes in order to prosecute this candidate. And the prosecutor, the DA in this case, is funded and backed by foreign money. Foreign money's coming in to prosecute this political figure. Now, the prosecutor, the DA in this case, is on the opposite side of the aisle of the person that they're prosecuting, and the person they're prosecuting is running for president. No, we're not talking about Nigeria. We're not talking about Cambodia. We're not talking about some war-torn African country. We're talking about the United States of America. And as liberals jump for joy as Donald Trump announces on his Truth Social account that he will most likely be charged with a crime and be indicted in Manhattan, as they're so happy that they're crying. They're crying into their vegan breakfast right now. It's happening. Tears of joy. But what they don't realize is that this is actually going to make Donald Trump stronger. It's going to make the movement stronger. And it is going to propel him into his second term of office. In today's video, we're going to be breaking it all down. We're going to be talking about the facts of the case, whether there's a case there, why he's being charged, and what Elon Musk just said is pretty damning. There are a lot of people who do not agree with what Donald Trump's politics are that are coming out and are saying this is absolute ludicrous. So we're going to be breaking this all down in today's video. You're going to want to stay tuned. We had Elon Musk tweet this morning reacting to the news that Donald Trump may be indicted as early as Tuesday of next week. Trump truthed on his Truth Social platform that he expects to be arrested by Alvin Bragg, the liberal Soros-funded district attorney of Manhattan. Elon Musk, like a lot of us, he thinks that this is actually going to help Donald Trump. All right, so here's what Elon Musk had to say this morning concerning this. He says, if this happens, Trump will be re-elected in a landslide victory, and I tend to agree. So what the hell is Trump going to be charged with? Well, this morning, Fox News had on Greg Jarrett, and what he had to say was really interesting. Let's take a listen.
Trump said that on Truth Social. He said, in fact,
quote, the far and away leading Republican candidate and former president of the United States of America will be arrested next week. Protests take our nation back. Fox News legal analyst Greg Jarrett is here to react. Greg, break this down for us.
Well, you know, I wrote a column about this because you could see this coming a mile away. It's purely politically driven.
100% politically driven. No doubt about it.
This
so
as
obvious.
The most cockamamie legal theory.
Cockamamie legal theory.
Heard of. Forget about the fact that this is a 7-year-old case and the statute of limitations appears to have elapsed 2 years ago. But the legal theory is something that is not just novel. It seems abusive of the legal system. Here it is in a nutshell. Take a business records misdemeanor and try to transform it, to supercharge it into a felony by attaching to it a second crime. Now, what is the second crime? That's the question we don't know. It can only be one of two things: a campaign violation under state law or federal law. Here's the problem. It can't be a campaign violation under state law because it was a federal election. And it can't really be a campaign violation under U.S. statutory campaign laws because Bragg is a Manhattan DA. Local and state prosecutors can't bring charges on federal crimes, only state crimes. In addition to all of that, there are other problems. Bragg would have to prove that Trump was personally involved in falsifying.
All right, so there are so many holes in this case that it's not even a case at all. Here's the problem with this. All right, so I'm sure you guys have seen the story of what he's possibly going to be getting charged with, it stems from a payment to Stormy Daniels, who was trying to extort Donald Trump a few days before the 2016 election. So Stormy Daniels comes out and accuses Donald Trump of having an affair with her. So Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, who has been arrested and has flipped sides since this happened, paid Stormy Daniels to basically go away, which is not illegal. Not illegal at all. Not a crime to pay somebody to just shut up. Not a crime. It's called a hush money payment. It is perfectly 100% legal. But here's where the DA is trying to get him. If, big question, if this hush money payment was 100% for the campaign's purpose, then he would have to report this as being part of his campaign finance. He would have to report it to the campaign disclosure, whoever monitors that type of thing. Well, here's the problem with the case. Trump is a businessman. Trump has multi-billion-dollar businesses. He has hotels all around the world. Okay? So there's no way you can prove that this hush money payment was 100% for political reasons. If 5% of the hush money payment was because Trump didn't want his businesses to get hurt by some ugly porn star coming out and saying that Trump had had an affair with her, then this case is worthless. In order for this case to be prosecutable, 100% of the Stormy Daniels payment has to be for political purposes, and there's no way to prove that. And there's no way to prove that Trump was in knowledge of this payment before it happened. There's no way to prove that this was for political reasons or that Trump was in knowledge of it. It is a giant witch hunt. It's a giant hoax. And now we have very powerful people like Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy coming out against this, saying that he is going to be investigating whether federal tax dollars were used in this case. We have McCarthy ordering immediate investigations after Donald Trump floats forthcoming arrest. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on Saturday called for an immediate investigation following former President Donald J. Trump's assertion that he will be arrested next week based on illegal leaks from the Manhattan DA's office. All right, so here's the tweet from McCarthy right here. He says, "Here we go again. An outrageous abuse of power by a radical DA who let violent criminals walk. As he pressures political vengeance against President Trump, I am directing relevant committees to immediately investigate if federal funds are being used to subvert our democracy." Boom. McCarthy is on board. When the Speaker of the House is backing somebody who's about to get arrested, that is pretty damning. And even the liberals are coming out and saying that this is nonsense. The Washington Post, we have an article by Mark Berman, who is no fan of former President Trump, coming out and saying the prosecutor, the ex-president, and the zombie case that's coming back to life. And in this article, he basically says that this case is nonsense and that there's no legal grounds to bring this to court. We even have old Mike Pence, who is right now no fan of Trump either, coming out and saying that this reeks of political prosecution. Obviously, it reeks of political prosecution. He says the looming arrest reeks of the kind of political prosecution that we endured back in the days of the Russia hoax. They will not stop until they think they have this guy buried. They will not stop until they have this guy behind bars. But the problem is that every time they do this, it makes it more and more obvious that this is politically motivated. They don't care whether he paid off Stormy Daniels and whether that's legal or illegal. The only thing they care about is the upcoming 2024 election, and they are so scared of this man and the movement that he created that they are looking for every single thing that they could possibly bring up, and none of them are sticking. The Russia hoax didn't stick. The dossier was all fake. It's all fake. It's all a fugazi mirage that they're trying to throw in front of the American people, and I hope to God that the American people are smarter than this. And by the way people are reacting to this news, it seems like they are. Representative of my state, Marjorie Taylor Greene, tweeted, "If the Manhattan DA indicts President Trump, he will ultimately win even bigger than he is already going to win." So, kind of the same note that Elon Musk was presenting there. If they do this, it's only going to make him stronger. He's only going to win by an even bigger margin in the upcoming election. And those Republicans that stand by and cheer for his persecution or do nothing to stop it will be exposed to the people and will be remembered, scorned, and basically says that the base will hold them accountable. And I absolutely agree with what she's saying. Republicans have to find out what the hell's going on here and put it into it. If there's federal money involved, pull that federal money quicker than a blink of the eye. This is what happens in banana republics. This is what happens in war-torn, civil war-torn countries in Africa. This is a joke. And it gets even more obvious as this guy, Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA going after Trump, was elected in large part because he got a bunch of money from these Soros-backed groups. George Soros, we all know who he is. Foreign money coming into our elections. It shouldn't be allowed. When are they going to put an end to foreign money coming into these U.S. elections? It's crazy. Why is this guy, George Soros, allowed to inject foreign dirty money into our DA campaigns, our presidential elections, our local elections, and we have foreign people dictating who holds office in the United States? It makes absolutely no sense. It's actually kind of scary. All right. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. I absolutely think this is going to help Trump. I think his next rally, his first rally post indictment, will have 100,000 plus people there, and it's going to jumpstart this movement. There had been criticism that this movement was kind of dying down and that it was slowing down and maybe DeSantis would catch him. Not anymore. Not anymore. This is the ignition to the Make America Great Again movement for the upcoming election. And it's going to jumpstart this thing like nobody's ever seen. We're going to be seeing 100,000 people inside stadiums, at Trump rallies, inside airport hangars, spilling out of the airport hangars. It is going to be wild. And these liberals, they may be happy today, but they don't realize what they have started. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.